Alright, I'm new to this, so bear with me folks. I love anime, and I love when I meet other people who enjoy anime too. I find myself having fun and getting excited when discussing and reacting to the shows we enjoy, and it got me thinking, having a designated place to come to and chill and talk with others about that passion would be a swell idea. Yeah, swell. I said it.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
And so the idea to construct this anime safe place where we can all gather around and enjoy the culture resulted in something I am beyond proud to unveil to those who will be willing to join me and allow me to share my anime experiences with you. So that being said, welcome everyone to my humble abode. Grab a drink, make sure it's cold. We're talking about anime, new and old. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my anime lounge. I figured I'll start things off with the shows I'm currently watching, some of the current season shows, which by the time of recording this are more than likely finished by now. But you know what?
I don't give a fuck.
And if you couldn't tell by this point in the video, there will be spoilers ahead for each show I'm about to mention, so yeah, spoiler warning. Okay, so by far one of the hottest shows this season, or last season, whichever one makes you feel better, is or was Tokyo Revengers. It had a fresh premise with the way that they used the concept of time travel that really hooked me from the start. This dude Takamichi sees on the news that his ex from middle school and her little brother got killed by the Tokyo Manji gang. And then later that day, somebody tried to end the entire series prematurely by killing off the protagonist by pushing him in front of a train. And BAM! He gets teleported, and I believe it was 12 years in the past. I could be wrong about that. He meets the younger brother Naoto and tells him about his sister's death in the future, and Naoto becomes the catalyst for Takamichi to travel from the future to the past. And thus, the race to save Hinata begins. Now, I will admit that in the beginning, I didn't really understand the motive and willingness to, jeopardize your own future, not knowing how even sneezing on the wrong person could and would affect what happens 12 years from now. There was nothing shown to us that had he died in the past, that he would somehow wake up back in the future as if nothing happened. He hasn't seen or spoken to this girl for years, and yet here he is risking his life by time traveling and joining what essentially becomes Tokyo's most deadly mafia in order to save Hinata's life. And then it hits me. They show you in the beginning that in his present, aka the future, he has nothing and nobody. I mean, he's still a virgin, which really isn't a problem, but it's definitely presented as a shortcoming since he's risking his life to save his ex, but he's still a virgin. See what I'm getting at here? But as he continues to travel to the past, he begins to relive his glory days with the girl he loves so dearly. Those old feelings become fresh again, and he latches on to that chance to gain purpose. He cannot let her die. He will not allow this future to become true once again. He will not squander this opportunity to make a difference. At least that's how I see it. This wouldn't have worked if he had a house and a wife and a family and shit. Hey babe, I'm gonna go back in time and save my ex real quick. That cool?
You stupid.
And so he's tasked with using his present to go back to the past and shape his future. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. To be honest, when I saw the promotional art for the show, they made it seem like he was gonna be running shit in this game. Like, he was gonna go back and take over. But that's not exactly what happened. This dude got his behind whooped in every timeline he existed in. He can go back and try and change Hinata getting killed, but he damn sure couldn't change those ass whoopings. The two who really ended up running things were the last two remaining Saiyans, Mikey and Dragon. When these two show up, you stand and salute, or...
Oh, I'm hurt.
What really kept me engaged in this show was just the raw emotion, not boggled down by the supernatural, because these are real people to an extent, and they all have their own moral code and beliefs molded by a world of delinquency. I was always a fan of mafia, gang type anime shows where there's a power struggle between multiple groups for control. With each passing episode, the stakes grew higher and higher, and the consequences definitely got more and more deadly. Like, they literally go from petty backyard brawls to sexual assault and straight up murder and mafia hits. Like, yo, damn. I was enjoying every passing episode more and more, and everything was going smooth until this dude shows up. Okay, so in my opinion, this dude right here, this guy, this person, Kazutora, I might be saying that wrong, forgive me, is the worst character in this show. He makes me angry. This dude, okay, let me explain. He's one of the founding members of Toman? You get what I'm trying to say. Mikey's group. He's loyal and respects and has a brotherly love for Mikey. Boom, cool. So Mikey's birthday comes up and this dude decides, hey, I'm gonna get Mikey a present. Okay, cool. Mikey likes bikes, so I'm gonna get him a bike, he says. Okay, that's cool. One might even say considerate. So him and another founding member, Banji, decide to go steal this bike at a shop that they think Mikey would like. Whole time, Banji telling this dude, Kazutora, that I don't know, man, I don't think this is a good idea. And Kazutora's just like, shut up, bitch. So they run up in the shop to get the bike, and before they can dip, the owner shows up, and in a panic, I'm gonna just start calling him Kaz. Kaz ends up killing the guy, who we later find out is Mikey's older brother. Upon learning this information, this dude, Kazutora, must have had a mental breakdown or something, because then he decides, all this is Mikey's fault, and now I gotta kill Mikey. Huh? What the f is going on here? Then they try to show his backstory about his shortcomings, coming from a broken home, choosing between his parents and whatnot, and him being mentally scarred, emotionally unstable. I get that, but ain't no way you gonna tell me this was the best way to get an enemy for Mikey's crew. Like,
yo, chill. It's just a show. Is this a show?
Nah, let me talk to him. Bro, you decided to steal a bike with your old Bumblebee from Transformers colored scheme ass hairdo.
Get him. Oh, relax, bro.
No,
chill,
let me talk
chill.
to him. You killed his brother, then gonna blame him because you wanted to make him happy with your Mike Tyson neck tatted Meliodas wannabe ass.
Yo, somebody get him.
No, let me talk
relax,
to him,
bro.
And even after you killed his brother, this man Mikey defended you, got you less time in prison with your how come he don't want me looking at.
Chill,
No,
chill.
let me talk to him. And then you were talking all that shit about Mikey, and you wouldn't even run him his fade 1v1, tried to jump him, still lost, then literally stabbed his homie in the back. Old Sid, the science kid, dreads having that.
Yo,
Let me talk to him. And Mikey still accepted your scheming, bummy behind into the gang after you tried to kill him and his homie with your unstable, two-faced, backstabbing giraffe neck. Let me talk to her. I'm a sucker for a good isekai. It's one of my favorite genres of anime. Take someone, transport them to a different magical world, make them OP, bam, I'm hooked. Now, my favorite isekai of all time as it stands right now is Overlord, bar none. But I would definitely be lying if I didn't say that Reincarnated is up there right with it. Right now, this is my favorite ongoing show for this season. I was hooked all throughout the first season, and the same can be said for season 2. Seldom do you get a show for 2 straight seasons dropping fire episodes every week that it does. What
did you say?
Who? Rimuru has now established his kingdom of Tempest and is now expanding through this new world, making new allies and potential enemies. I love that they never deviated from the charm that captured me from the first season and only enhanced it with the introduction of the new characters and challenges in this one. We got the Beast Kingdom now, which introduced us to Snake Bay. The main focus of this season was to take down the mischievous, manipulating, manic, mannequin-making demon lord Clayman. This guy right here is just a prick, dude. Like really? This man puts controlling spells on his subordinates and just sends them out to do his bidding so he never gets his hands dirty. Man's really had one of his subordinates essentially end themselves by taking this pill that transformed them into this big ass flying whale demon whose name I shall not attempt to pronounce. What's crazy is that the dude was about to surrender after losing to Snakebait, and Clayman was just like, nah, you knew what this was. This ride or die for life around here.
You know
literally. They did such an excellent job at making an antagonist you really wanted to see get his... Like, they did such a great job at it that in the end, when you see his plans crumble, you pop for it. This man has been a menace for 2 seasons. When it gets revealed that LEMME wasn't really on his control, boy, let me tell you something. When they showed that, I looked straight at Clayman and said,
now you see now, you done f***ed up, you know that, don't you?
Because this man was really beating on one of the strongest demon lords, thinking he had her under his control. He even started beating her in a room full of his peoples. Like, this dude had to be stopped. I gotta give a special shout out to my boy Benny Maru, aka Benny. I calls him Benny, we cool like that.
Fight!
But I say that just to express how impressive the character development in this show was, starting back from the first season. It's just amazing to see, because one of my conditions for a show to really reach a stage of excellence is to never neglect your side characters. Nobody in this cast has become an irrelevant piece. Everybody has developed and gotten stronger to the point where they were able to have solid and very good episodes without even needing a main character in it. Another aspect I love about Isekai is when the MC is strong and their entire crew is strong, squad goals. Oh, and let's not forget that this man Imaru definitely just summoned potentially his most savage member of the crew to date, Diablo. This man, bro, Diablo. Do you know what Diablo means? That shit means devil. This man summoned a devil. Look at him. You want to know how savage this dude is? Imaru sent this dude to go help take over a country by himself. And then Diablo gonna say, I'll return shortly. What is this man about to do to this country? Finna be nobody left in that place when he get done with it. Yeah, man, this was another great season from Reincarnated, and I cannot wait to see what season 3 has. Oh, by the way, who y'all got winning in the fight between Benny and Diablo? Let me know in the comments. All right, truth time. I did not think that this show would work for me, but man, I laughed my butt off with this show right here. Bro, Girlfriend is one of the most upfront, honest, it is what it is type shows out right now, man. This man Naoya has been chasing after this girl Saki, who he has been in love with, friends with since they were kids, essentially. I mean, this man knew what he wanted and pursued. Respect. So he ends up asking her to be his girlfriend, and after so many attempts, she finally accepts and they officially become a couple. Pretty straightforward stuff. I dig it. So now the homie is happy, excited, he living life. He about to be the best boyfriend for Saki that he can be. And then I don't know where he gets confessed to by who would quickly become the MVP of the show, Minase Nagisa. I say that right? And then my mind, I'm like, okay, he literally just started going out with the girl of his dreams. He gonna find some nice way to turn her down, and they'll develop some kind of friendship and whatnot. Let's see how he does it. He tells her that he has a girlfriend. Boom, good start. He tells her that he loves his girlfriend and wants to treasure her. My man, there you go. And then he says Nagisa is attractive and he wants her in his life. He says he doesn't want to turn her down and proposes that he date both her and Saki.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Yeah, we learned early on that he ain't shit, but he is definitely honest. He then gets the genius idea to bring this proposition to Saki, and he starts pleading his case, literally begging Saki to let him date them both. Now again, I'm like, you know what? She seems like she has a good head on her shoulders. Would nobody willingly accept such an idea? She'll do the right thing. And then she agrees to it.
Right.
You stupid.
However, this situation is what creates the charm and humor that carries on throughout the entirety of the show. They are now entwined in this messy relationship where Saki is being two-time. Minase is fighting to be number one while also supporting Saki's attempts to be number one. Saki is trying to stay relevant. Rika starts stalking them. She's trying to make Naoya fall in love with her. Naoya says no, she says yes, he says no, she says yes, he says no, she says yes, he says maybe. So then Saki and Nagisa have to keep Rika away from Naoya so he doesn't fall in love with her too. Somewhere in all this, Saki becomes a bunny girl, Nagisa becomes a sexy maid, there's boobas, butts in a bath. Saki's friend Shino gets suspicious. She wants the truth, but she can't handle the truth. But whole time, Shino needs Naoya to be faithful to Saki because that's her best friend, and she discovers that she also has feelings for Naoya, and the only thing keeping her from pursuing is the fact that Naoya is her best friend's boyfriend, but he's two-timing, three-timing, four-timing, five-timing. She holds on to the possibility that she can pursue all this while trying to keep it a secret. I really enjoyed it. It felt fresh. That boy Naoya had me rolling. Nagisa was the Nagisa? Baby girl was the MVP, and Saki, she was there too. And I love how throughout the entire show they remind you of how stupid they all are for accepting this relationship. I always wonder if the shoe were on the other foot and Naoya met Nagisa first, would Nagisa have let Naoya start dating Saki? After all that work she put in for him? I don't know. I don't think she would have let that slide.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Oh man, okay. This shit hurts. You want to talk about pain? Bro, this show straps you onto the emotional roller coaster without so much as a fuck you. The first episode had my eyes getting moist, and the quality of the animation let me know we were definitely in for a crazy adventure. This godlike dude creates an organism, a tool. I mean, he started off as a rock, then became a wolf, so this dude created this thing, later called Fushi, as a means to preserve the information on the planet. So basically, he's a walking memory card. The first boy we get introduced to, I was sure was going to be the protagonist, and he kinda is because he dies and Fushi becomes him, and this is the main form he uses throughout the entire show. Fushi sets out to get stimulated, and I was locked in. When we get introduced to March, I was damn sure nothing was gonna happen to her. I mean, she's a kid. She likes to play in the mud. She likes playing house with dolls. She was precious. I mean, sure, they might tease something happening to her, but nothing bad's gonna really happen, right? Bro, she is immediately sent off to be sacrificed to the porcupine polar bear, and I'm like,
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
But she escapes and they build the parent-child relationship between her and Fushi, which created a dynamic I really enjoyed. March aspired to be a mother, wanting to care for and raise another. Fushi at this point was basically functioning as a newborn. And it's at this point I'm like, okay, now we have our main character along with Fushi. And then March sacrifices herself to save her big sister. It was here I determined that this show doesn't care about us. It doesn't care about our feelings. It's only here to hurt us. Nobody was safe. And then we met the homie Gugu. But so many episodes in, I started to learn the sadistic pattern of the show. If you see Fushi get attached to anybody,
You know he did.
so I wasn't gonna get attached.
You liar!
I knew what it was. I was just waiting for the next RIP, you feel me? You spell me? So one episode goes by, and I'm like, okay, anytime now, poor guy. Then 2 more episodes go by, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this a record? My man's Google still alive, and he a soldier. Dude not only got his face smashed in after saving a princess, but this old asshole uses Google's body as a damn alcohol container. My dude ain't got his eyes no more. He can't show his face out in public. His brother left him after stealing all their money. He was broke. I mean, damn. But he was still thriving to the point where he got his weight up. Him and Fushi basically became brothers. I just knew he was gonna make it. They even did a time skip. Him and Fushi grew up together. He was the one. He helped Fushi fight off the knockers. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have our star. After all that pain and suffering, we have one.
And it's gone.
And then they killed my homie Google. I'm like,
hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
when that happened, I fell off. Mainly because I felt as though Google could have and should have been the ending point for this season. After Google, I couldn't get attached to any more characters. He had more character development than March did. They tried to do this whole tournament arc on an island of criminals, and I couldn't really invest my feelings into it because it started feeling like an entirely different show at this point. And I didn't give a single damn about them kids they tried to introduce us to as the next batch of friends for Fushi because, spoiler alert, they ended up dying too. That unique feeling the show had for me at the beginning was lost at this point. Fushi definitely didn't feel like the same character. Give me primal, fruit-eating, tree-climbing, broken sentence speaking Fushi back. He wouldn't give a shit about that island. Oh, and how the fuck does this immortal, shape-shifting, can create anything from his body, regenerating, cloning, God-creating being, lose that fight against this crazy chick? She caught him slipping with some sleeping drug twice. I don't know, man. I was infuriated with Fushi at this point in the show. I know that black hooded dude was getting fed up with Fushi ass. And then that chick, Hayashi, told Fushi that she straight up tortured and killed everyone in March's village and Perona. And this man, Fushi, just goes, okay. Like, what? No lie. Having Hayashi go all Cindy crazy at the end was kind of sexy, though. Okay, so I could be here all day talking about the shows I'm watching. Those were the big shows for the season, but a quick rundown of some more shows I'm watching right now. I told you earlier, I'm a sucker for a good isekai. Kid gets sent to another world, goddess calls him ugly and condemns him. Now they beefing, it's a banger. Okay, so the title is weird because the concept of 5 seconds plays 0 parts in the main premise of the show. But a bunch of people get gathered, put into a survival game where they have to use their unique ability given to them to win, what essentially turns into a death battle royale. Okay, I'm just catching on to this one. It's a really fun watch. This boy, Iruma, gets sold off to a demon by his parents on some Mr. Krabs type shit, and now he must survive as a human in the demon world while hiding what he really is. Banger. I'ma need this second season ASAP. I really enjoyed this show. A guy is reincarnated into a magical world with his own memories, as well as those of a guy who died in a bus crash. 2 sets of memories controlling one life. It's a well-executed premise. This dude goes off in this magical world. Banger. It's a show about samurai pirates, bro. Just watch it. And it has movie-like animation quality. Watch this if you hate happiness, but banger. Okay, this shit right here is fire. Straight fire. I cannot recommend this one enough because I feel like this one will fly under the radar. It's a world where the gods have been living in peace for so long. However, the resurrection of the demons threatened this and now they must fight. And man, do they fight. This show really goes crazy and it had one of the coolest moments in anime for me for the year. Now it's only 3 episodes in. Who does that? Banger. Man, this felt good. I always wanted to do this. Talking about anime, it puts me in a good space, and that's how I knew it was something that I wanted to do. Let this lounge be a space where all of you who share this excitement and love for the culture can come and chat and chill with other like-minded people. I call this place my humble abode because it's now where my passion lives, and I want to share these experiences with you all. So I thank you all for coming in today. Stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself and you plan on stopping by again. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, share it with any others you know may enjoy anime as much as we do. With all that being said, let's all raise a glass in the air. Here's to anime.